I think the ears are what? Sorry if I'm wrong, please. I don't remember. It's been a minute. The ears are 35 decibels.
Okay, we can
Noise
accept that.
noise cancellation is you need something that, because 35 decibels will not just be 1 point. Because again, sound sound goes in a wave. So I'm going to use the most basic of wave, which would be the sinusoidal wave, which technically that's not always sound because, well,
It
sound
could
has
just
bass
be
and
a
everything.
beep, it could be a boop, it could be anything. It
More or
could be a
less.
whoop.
If I remember, the sound wave is minus h bar over something, where wherever it is, you have a, which is a is the amplitude. Then you have something t, which is just the frequency, which is annoying because that frequency is technically wrong because that frequency literally just means 1 over of the period,
Yeah.
which is 1 over t. Well, that's a stupid thing. So let's just use a sine wave. If this here is our 35, to cancel out this sound, we already know that sound cannot exist on its own. It's kind of
Yes.
like
It
how
needs to
we
pass
have
through
power.
a medium.
Mhm. If you're passing through a medium, it means you already have the exact opposite at that period working. Which
Okay.
is why you notice a lot of people will tell you sine, cosine, where the sine becomes it's the a sine theta and cosine becomes b sine theta,
Okay.
more or less. So what this guy designed was he found a way of using regular corrugated. Technically, with the first time he designed it, and this is the funniest part. He used corrugated
Steel, like aluminium or
no
like
aluminum. What's that material that technically we always argue that it causes cancer?
asbestos.
Asbestos. Yeah, he used corrugated asbestos. So what he did, how he equated, because at this point, theta and theta will always be the same. So the main things that change is this A and B, because A and B are both integers. The only thing, but then to find out where they relate, you have to now equate it to a continuous function. And the best way to say a continuous function is just you need to find an equation that applies in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then applies in such a way that it affects both, even the one's positive and one's negative. So what he designed was like, this was the first design. He used asbestos and was like, okay, if we have a device that is arranged like this, so the ridges, he equated A, B, and C. C comes from just the environment. In
Okay.
a ridge like this, see that ridge?
So they are producing naturally by their shape, their deflection is creating
Thank you.
a positive inflection from their negative structure.
Yep. And one more thing. The one more thing is, I keep forgetting how this word is. Yeah, Doppler effect.
Okay.
So the Doppler effect is one of the first things you learn in physics. It tells you that
When
sound
something
over
when the sound
time.
is going to
Yeah, sound
it
over how
speeds
sound
up.
propagates over time when you're moving away from the object. So what he designed was, you see that object. So when you're at the closest point, so the train is flowing,
Yeah.
and then you have these barriers here,
Okay.
where one is like this, the other is like this. So A and B pretty much equate to the distance between the ridges.
Okay.
Then the Doppler effect tells you as far as where the ridges have to go.
All right.
So what is it? When the train is closest to you, where the Doppler effect tells that the train node should be the largest. At that
Okay.
point, the differentiation between A and B in terms of the ridges is the largest, so it dulls down the sound. Then as
Okay.
the train moves further away from you, the ridges are becoming maybe further away, and then the sound dopples down again more. That's his design, oh.
That's a beautiful design.
It
Using
worked. It
it's like
worked.
natural wave
It was
forming.
natural. See, put it this way. Let me bust you. Do you know? Me and my father had an argument recently, which was, and this argument is, I think, anyway, I think we had this argument. My dad told me that the original concept of designing a house in Africa, where we're using brick, cannot work again anymore now. Not because we cannot use brick, but because there's no longer any talented brick mason in Nigeria. My father told me that thing, and do you know, I was like, I cursed the man out. I was like, what do you mean? Brick that is natural. You say there's no brick